Hello everyone, I'm MajesticKarLyn and we're going to be playing some Planet Crafter. In today's video, I have some tips and tricks and a few spoilers you might want to know about. There's a couple of good ones, so stick around to the end. So stay buckled up and join me on this incredible ride. So we've landed here on a mysterious planet that has questionable atmosphere at the least, and you're here to transform it into the beautiful world you know it can be. Also, I have to give a shout out to DustyBees6308 for giving me all these tips. Well, not all of them. I did learn some myself. So far, I have already got everything upgraded that I needed to do. The bigger backpack, the bigger oxygen tank. I've made all of my microchips that I need, and we're ready to start exploring. We're going to go up there to that big structure, as I'm going to show you all the different areas I've found so far to get some of the best items in the game. I just wanted to show you that you're going to find these containers lying around, and they are important, but if you don't really need to open one yet, like in the beginning of the game, you kind of do. But if you don't want to open one right away, wait for as long as you can till you progress in the game, and the more you progress, the better things are going to be inside, things you're going to need. So as this meteor shower finally starts going away, I'm going to show you a little trick I learned from DustyBees6308. He put a comment in one of my videos for Planet Crafter, and I think it's a pretty good tip. So down there is where our pod is, and this is where this large structure is, and it is pretty big. So you're going to want to, take your time going through that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a living quarters and get inside so my oxygen can build back up again. Now that my oxygen is built back up again, look at that, pretty fast, huh? I can now come out and go into this structure, and as soon as I get low of oxygen, I can come back out and come in here and get more oxygen again. Pretty good idea, huh? And you can just kind of leave it here if you need it, because there's also over here an ice cave that you can't get into because the planet is not warm enough yet. We have to wait to get into that one. So now that we've made this, we do have to give it some power. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to do anything else with it. So we're going to give ourselves a little wind turbine for power. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to make ourselves a crafting station. Like so. Now, I didn't have room to put my torch over here as it's only 4 slots. It's torch/flashlight. But I'm going to make it now. And I am going to go into my inventory and just swap it out for something. So I'm going to take it and swap it out for the construction portion right now. So I have the torch to go inside here. Only because there's one thing I want to show you. So if you've already come inside and gotten yourself a blueprint microchip, you can do this. But now in order to use that, I need to put this back, the construction chip in there. I'm going to get rid of this, get the construction chip, go back to that section, and I'm going to go down to blueprint screen, and I'm going to make one of those right here. Because I made that there, I can now go into it and I can open up this construction chip. And it gave me my agility boots. And then if I don't want to keep that there, obviously, I would go back in and I would take back out one of these items, typically what we just built, and deconstruct it. So we don't need to keep it in here. Now I'll leave the rest of this to you for something you can do when you're playing the game. I just wanted to show you a couple of tips that you could learn. So there's another tip I have. You can get power anywhere on the planet. It doesn't matter where you put it. It doesn't have to be in one specific spot. Now, you have to remember, there's something we need to do that you need to know about. Well, first off, more oxygen. Let's get back up here. Whee! Okay, good. Woohoo, we're safe. All right, I'm going to make my way down there, and I'm going to start showing you some locations that I found in my travels. Places you might want to check out at some point. Be right back. So down here in the valley is your pod you landed in. Up there's the structure I already showed you up on the top. Over here is this lovely arch, which is a great landmark to show you this structure over here that you can investigate. And up here is a great place to start your home base. Because remember, there's something I'm going to tell you about this down here that you need to know, but you got to stick around to the end. Oh, don't forget, you are here to terraform the planet. Maybe I'll take you into my other save game and show you what that looks like as we investigate more of the planet. All right, be right back. We are in my other save game, which I've done some terraforming, and you can see we now have blue skies, clouds, and we're going to get some rain at some point too. Now over this way is our pod we crashed in, and to this side of the valley, we have more things up this way. And I'm not going to take you directly to every single location, as in you can check these things out yourself. No, though remember, those containers, the longer you play the game and don't open something, the more possibility there'll be something really good inside that you could use. Beginning of the game, it only has the same things you're looking for at that time, like iron, titanium, cobalt, some food maybe, water. I'm not sure if I've ever found an oxygen. But there's the first thing I wanted to show you right there. So there's these structures right here that you can investigate, and there's things you can deconstruct with your deconstruction uh, chip on your thing. Oops, I need some oxygen. Let me just grab an oxygen here. Take that, as I need to do some more investigating, and I don't want to show you all the tricks right now. Also over here, you'll find there's caves along inside all of these areas, and there's ice at the back of that. Can you see that ice back there? And the hotter the planet gets, that ice is going to start to melt, like I showed you in the previous cave. So don't forget, that's another place to look at once your planet gets warmer. All right, I'm going to go and show you the next location that I have found. Be right back. Over here is that structure I showed you earlier. If you go to the right, you're going to see these green, tannish colored structures, mountains, I guess, rocks. Now, I'm going to go show you something really cool over here. Down here, below this little cliff area, is a golden storage box. And in this is usually some really cool stuff that you can get. Ooh, I should get that. That's 600 oxygen. Nice. I'm just going to leave that there for now, as I really don't have room to pick everything up that I find right now. But those always hold something really fun. Now, if you go back into these structures here, this is where you get your nuclear power rocks from. And you'll find them in the chests around here. There's one over there, and there's another chest over this way. And there's the structure that we found. Right there, and there's another chest as well. So there's some chests inside there that you can grab, and if I'm not mistaken, blueprint microchip as well. All right, so that's that structure. Now I'm going to take you to a really cool place I found. It's so amazing. Be right back. All right, so I've come back over here to this structure that I haven't investigated with you, but I've been in it, and I've gotten all the stuff in there that I can get at this time. Oh, yes, I'm going to have to show you our lovely humble abode over there, our home away from home, home base. But we'll go get to that later. This is really cool over here. This could have saved me so much time in the game if I'd come here first. Right after this structure, that is. But I didn't know how important some stuff is. Now, there's a ton of these crates in here. Look at ton. There's that green rock I was telling you about, the uranium and the iridium. This one is for energy and this one is for heat. So those are important. When you find those, you should keep them right away. But you just kind of follow this path. It kind of winds in and out in here. Oh, I think there's another chest over here. Yeah, there's another chest. I get that one? I didn't, but I don't need anything from in there. That's fine. So we're just going to follow this maze of the path all the way through here. All this stuff you can collect, but you don't have to do it right now. And it comes out eventually out this way. and out here. Yes. Now, this is what the important part is. There's a specific item that we need in the game. It does a lot. We have to get up in this structure so I can show it to you. Now, there's another way to get here. You can go all the way around. Oops, I need some oxygen. I always hit the wrong button when I need oxygen. There we go. There's my oxygen. So we're going to go this way. Now, this is it right here. Look. Super alloy. This whole area up here, all these things you can crawl and walk on up there, super alloy is all over the place up here. I literally am thinking of spending a good 2 hours just collecting all the super alloy from up here. I'm going to make some things to carry it in. Is there some things in here? You know, you can get stuff in here too, in these storage containers. But I'm thinking about making a whole little base up here and collecting all that super alloy and then eventually bringing it back to my home base because super alloy is super important. You like how I said that? You like that? So yeah, so you've got all these things you can crawl across. I don't know how to get up to that one yet. I haven't tried. I only went so far and was so excited I found it. Wasn't that cool? In any case, I'll let you guys figure that one out on your own. Now, let me take you to another location I found, which you might find interesting as well. And be right back. Okay, so we are now on the opposite side of where that structure is over there. The home base over here, the iridium area over there, and the super alloy over here. And I just noticed when I was coming this way, there's a whole new place to investigate because that was covered by sand before. So I'm going to go there next. Right now I need to take some oxygen because this here is a great place to find aluminum, this cave. There's aluminum, and if I'm not mistaken, there's also iridium in here. Now, there was iridium back in that other location where the big spike towers were. Ooh, hydration. I need to take some water. There we go. And there you go. So those are the locations I found, but this is going to be the next place I investigate. And I'll probably be doing that on stream on Thursday night. That's going to be fun. All right, let's get back to home base. As you can see, the looks like nighttime is falling on this planet. And I'm going to give you a little tour of home base right now and show you what we've been doing to terraform this planet. Now, you can see I have a couple of nuclear reactors going. It was quite fun when I put that out. There was a little achievement that came up with that, showing how much energy. I have the larger solar panels out, as well as the original wind turbines. And here we have some outside oxygen tanks. Oxygen, what are these called again? Well, these are called T3 veggie tube, and that's what's giving us oxygen on the outside of the atmosphere right now. We have the ones that are inside as well. These structures are so fun to make, but you have to be careful because they really like to be on flat land. And over here we have our water collector, and over here we have our biodome, and inside it's doing a whole bunch of work for us. Still haven't investigated that much. Now, up here we have all of our drills going, our T2 and our T3 drills. This one's a beast. Look at that. And that's what's helping to terraform the planet. Now, over here, as you might notice too, I have a compass at the top of my screen. That's something you can build with your blueprint chips that you get. Over here, these are making oxygen. These are T2 veggie tubes. These are called our food growers. So now we can make our own food at least. So we're not going to have to rely on space food anymore. But of course, if we find space food, we're going to eat it. Got a couple storage units. This is the bigger heater for this area here. Over here, we have our T2 crafter, and then there's our T3 crafter. And that makes us all some really important things like a bigger backpack, bigger oxygen tank. You can make super alloy, but I found a whole bunch of it. And our uranium rods and iridium rods, and that's for the heat and for the nuclear power. Over here we have larger storage units that we can get into. Look as you hit it, it kind of opens up a door. Now there's supposed to be a way to change text, but I'm on controller and I haven't figured that one out yet. So when I get that figured out, I'll tell you how I did it. Over here's the command center. So the first thing you usually put up is this, and this is telling you what oxygen levels, heat, pressure, biomass, and your terraforming at what you're at that point. Here we have, again, this is the blueprint that you can do open up a blueprint chip to see where you're at in that area. This is your energy. So we are at consumption is only 213 and we're producing 332. So we're good that way. So this here is our mapping screen, and because I don't have a satellite in orbit, I can't map yet. Once I get a satellite up, I'll be able to map with that. Over here is our transmissions, where we get our mail, our messages that come in. And then this one is the terraformation stages, and this gives us our progress. So we got to rain, so we went from to blue skies, and from blue skies we went to clouds, and from clouds we went to rain, and now we're going to liquid water. And this is important, and this is what we've been waiting for me to tell you. Oh, before I do that though, let me take you on a tour upstairs. There's not much up here. This is going to be more storage, and I have another oxygen up here, and I have a bed to overlook the beautiful scenery outside now. So that's what we got going on up here, and I have 2 of these things to get up and down. Now, this is the important thing that you need to know about. This is the most important tip, spoiler, so if you don't want to know, stop watching now. But I hope you do want to know. Did anyone guess what this is going to become down here? Did anyone figure it out? Once we make enough water from the atmosphere to make enough rain, this is going to become a lake. That's right. So anything you see down here, if you want to collect all this stuff now, you got to collect it now, because eventually this is going to be all underwater. Even our little pod over there is going to be underwater. So it's your decision if you want to gather all this stuff up or just let it, or just let it get waterlogged. So this is going to be the end of the video, and I will be streaming on Thursday to show you what's going to be happening over there in that structure. I hope you can join me. Also, if you have anything to put in the comment section, please do. I love tips and spoilers. If you're enjoying my content, please put a like on the video and consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. This is MajesticKarLyn in Planet Crafter, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.